Hi everyone, and welcome to the Sound Mind podcast, where we dive into the fascinating world of music psychology. I'm your host, Sophia, and as a music psychologist, I'll be guiding you through everything you've ever wanted to know about music. So, whether you're a music lover or are just interested in the science of sound, you're in the right place. So, this week, it's my birthday week, and I thought instead of diving into a deep music psych topic, we keep it light and reflective. More of a kind of chatty episode where I want to just kind of reflect on birthdays, music, and the way that certain songs soundtrack our milestones. For me, birthdays have always been a big deal. I really do see them as special days, but this year I'm actually taking it a lot more chilled than usual. I'm super busy, there's a lot going on, a lot of changes, and yeah, I'm seeing it as a space for reflection and growth, and of course, music plays a big part in that. And I think birthdays have this funny way of making us pause. Whether you love celebrating or not, they really do mark time in a way that makes us look back, look forward, and often turn up the volume on something, whether nostalgic or celebratory. So, a bit of a different one this week. I hope you stick around. It's still going to be music oriented, of course, but yeah, I thought it was just a space to kind of just sit down and have a chat. One thing I've been thinking about this week is just how strange and special birthday songs are in general. Like, think about it. Birthdays are one of the few moments in our lives where a whole group of people might stand around you and just sing directly to you. And it's not just any song, it's the same song almost everywhere in the world. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, or where you come from, chances are someone sung happy birthday to you. And there's something fascinating in that kind of collective musical ritual, I think. It's so awkward sometimes, it's kind of cheesy, and oftentimes it's off key. But yet it matters so much. It's a little moment of attention, of being seen. Everyone joins in and suddenly the spotlight is on you, even if it's just for 20 seconds over a cake. Some people love it, some people hate it, but either way, it's like this tiny universal concert for one. I think it's beautiful. Like, when you reflect on it, as awkward as some of our experiences have been, just looking at a cake and looking at your friends and family standing around you, sometimes in a public place, and you're just like, oh my God, shoot me now. But when you actually reflect on that moment, it's such a beautiful thing. It's really speaks to the importance that you hold in people's lives, and the ritual of singing happy birthday really is so universal. And I think that's what intrigues me the most. Like, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. The moment that someone starts singing happy birthday, everyone just automatically joins in. Like, it's a ritual that we were all just born knowing. But where did that even come from? I realized that I actually had no idea. So I decided to do some research. And actually, the melody of Happy Birthday goes all the way back to the 19th century. It was actually originally written by two American sisters, Patty and Mildred J. Hill. And it was actually a classroom song called Good Morning to All. It wasn't meant for birthdays at all. It was just a simple greeting song for children. And the lyrics that we know now, the happy birthday to you, they were actually added later, and eventually it just stuck. It's become so deeply embedded in our culture that even when we try to avoid it, it finds us. So actually, the first known appearance of the melody and lyrics that we know today actually dates back to 1912. But what I found really interesting was, and I did not know this before, was that the Hill Sisters song was actually copyrighted in 1935. And although the song's copyright status has been very much disputed and is actually now considered to be in the public domain, but yeah, it's very, very interesting origin story. I always love hearing different versions of Happy Birthday. For example, when you go to different restaurants and they've made their own kind of jingle, maybe that is to avoid copyright now that I think about it. I don't know, but it's very entertaining. I've spent a lot of time in Dubai over the past year or so, and I love being in restaurants and just seeing the different cultural birthday rituals and how embarrassed people get, because you just always picture yourself in their shoes and you're like, oh my God, it's super embarrassing. But like I said, it's super heartwarming. And no matter what the structure of the song is, even if it's slightly changed, it really just unites people and everyone starts clapping along and singing and laughing. And yeah, it just universally says, we're here for you to celebrate you. And I think that's an amazing thing, as embarrassing as it is. But on that note, over time, people started wanting more than just a simple sing-along. Birthday songs started becoming these cultural statements. Think about how different the vibe is when you hear 50 Cent sing, "Go Shorty, it's your birthday." You know exactly what's coming next. And that opening line from 50 Cent's In the Club might be one of the most iconic birthday shout-outs in pop music history. The whole song is not technically about birthdays, but that one line has made it a birthday anthem for over 2 decades. Honestly, every birthday party playlist I think I've ever created, I think the first song has always been In the Club. And it probably always will be. It's cool, it's confident, a little bit cocky. It's like, yes, it's my day and I deserve to be celebrated. I think it's a power move. Then you've got pop's take on birthday bangers, like Katy Perry's Birthday. That one is like pure glitter, sugar, and a lot of suggestive cake metaphors. It's theatrical, a little bit cheeky. It's the kind of song that you play if you want to feel like the main character, where the whole day revolves around you. Or there's Rihanna's Birthday Cake, which, to be honest, has very little to do with cake, but it still gets played at parties. And that's the thing. The point that I'm trying to make is birthday songs, they don't have to be literal. They just have to feel like a celebration. And then you have the vintage, old school era. I think of songs like Leslie Gore's It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want To. It gives us a whole different angle. It's almost like a sad birthday or a dramatic teenage moment, you know, where you feel like you've been overlooked. And there's something real about that too, because not every birthday feels joyful. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure around birthdays. And a lot of the music out there really lets us lean into that side of things as well. And think about the Beatles' birthday. It's loud, it's chaotic, and honestly kind of weird, but in a good way. It feels like a jam session at someone's house where everyone's kind of too drunk to sing on key. And I kind of love that. It's another reminder that birthday songs don't always need to be completely polished. They just need energy. They're there to hype you up and soundtrack your day of celebration. And that's what's really interesting to me from a music psychology perspective, is how these songs become part of personal rituals. We don't just listen to them, we assign them a meaning. They're not just birthday songs, they're literally identity markers. They help us shape how we want to be seen. Are we the fun one? Are we the emotional one? And the choices that we make around birthday music, I think they really do say something about where we are in our life. Maybe when you were younger, you played something upbeat and wanted to feel seen and inspired and just energized, I guess. But maybe now you lean into something mellow and you want your birthday to feel more introspective and gentle. Now, personally, I want to start doing a small ritual this year where I choose a birthday morning song. Just one track that I play first thing in the morning, just to kind of set the tone for the day. It's like sonic intention setting, not even just for the day, but more for the year ahead. I'm not sure what it will be yet, but I'm figuring it out. But I love the idea of that moment, just me, the day ahead of me, and a song that helps me kind of anchor it all. But tell me, is there a track that you always play on your birthday, or one that takes you back to maybe a particular year, like a kind of sonic time capsule? Let me know. I'd love to hear the soundtracks that define your milestones. I always think it's super interesting and it says so much about us as people. But yeah, birthdays aren't just about cake and parties. They're also really personal markers in time. They kind of give us this built-in pause button. It's a moment to reflect, whether we want to or not, I think. And for a lot of us, music is a big part of that reflection. And it's funny because obviously we usually associate music with celebration on birthdays. Think of those big songs that I mentioned, loud choruses, and dancing with friends. But music also plays that quieter, more intimate role as well. Sometimes it's in the background whilst you journal, or maybe it's in the car on the way to your celebratory dinner. And sometimes it's the song that you just put on late at night at the end of the day, and you're lying in bed and thinking, okay, I'm another year older. What have I done with this year of my life? How do I want the next year of my life to look? In many ways, I've always seen birthdays like mini New Year's Eves. They come with all of this emotional baggage, reflection, hope, sometimes disappointment, surprise, and music has this incredible ability to hold all of that at once. Music doesn't judge us, it just plays and somehow says the thing that we're struggling to say out loud. And this goes beyond birthdays as well. Music is there for so many life milestones. Weddings have songs and first dances. Funerals often have hymns or personal songs chosen to honor someone's memory. Graduations have that classic ceremonial music, or maybe a group of friends blasting their soundtrack songs on the way home. And even breakups and job changes have their own soundtracks. Music has become a way that we ritualize change. It helps us process endings and beginnings in a language that's deeper than words. And I think what's especially beautiful is how often we return to the same songs at these moments, or the same artists. There's comfort in that repetition, in knowing that even as we change, certain sounds still feel like home. And that's something that I think we do a lot around birthdays. At least I do. I've really started to notice that, especially in the past few years, that I start to gravitate towards songs from earlier phases of my life, perhaps particularly during my birthday week. Not consciously at first, but suddenly I'll find myself listening to an old playlist from like 2015, or digging up that one album that I used to rinse when I was younger. It's like emotional time travel, and I think that's because birthdays trigger a kind of internal review, and music is like a filing system for that review. And there's actually a psychological reason behind this too. I've spoken about this quite a lot in previous episodes, but it's something called the reminiscence bump. And it's this really cool phenomenon that basically says that people tend to recall music from their adolescence and early adulthood more vividly than music from other parts of life. So there's a lot of different numbers knocking around, but roughly between the ages of 10 and 25, give or take, music from that time period tends to stick with us more strongly. And actually, it's kind of funny, I'm turning 26, so does that mean that I'm constantly going to be reflecting on the music from my past from now on? I guess we're going to find out. And that's not just because the songs were better or that we had more free time. It's literally because that stage of life is when we're most forming our identity. We're figuring out who we are, who we love, and who we want to be. And music becomes a kind of companion to all of those emotional firsts. First love, first heartbreak, first time living away from home, first real friend group, first big mistake. And the songs that you were listening to during those moments, they kind of get etched in. They've become emotionally sticky. So even years later, when you hear them again, your brain literally lights up. You're not just remembering the song, you remember how you felt, where you were and who you were with, and even who you were at that time in your life. So when we approach a birthday, especially in adulthood, I think it's no surprise that we start returning to those more formative songs. It's not just nostalgia, it's literally self-reflection. It's your brain's way of doing a check-in with younger versions of yourself, and I've definitely felt that myself. So yeah, this year I'm still deciding on my birthday soundtrack, but I think there's going to end up being a mix of new discoveries and old favourites, a kind of blend of where I've been and where I want to go. Because at the end of the day, that's what birthdays and music is really about, right? Just looking back just enough to remember who you are and then choosing a rhythm to carry you forward into what's next. But being a July baby, one of the things that I've always loved about a summer birthday is that it automatically comes with a vibe. Like, the sun is out, the days are longer, the evenings feel slower, and I think music just hits different at this time of the year. Although I will say we had great weather in Stockholm the past few weeks, and now for my birthday week, it's raining. We love that, but it's all part of living in the Nordics, I guess. But overall, there's something about summer that I think feels like almost permission. It's permission to relax, to dance, to be a little bit more spontaneous. And for me, music becomes the soundtrack to that shift, especially around my birthday. It's almost like the whole season is sonically designed to hold memories. You know those songs that when you just hear them, you're instantly taken back to a specific summer? Maybe even like a specific day or even an outfit or a smell. And I think that's the power of a good summer song. It's not just fun, it's sticky. It stays with you. It gets tied to how you felt and who you were with, how warm the air was and how free you felt. And I think even more so when your birthday lands in that season, the soundtrack becomes even more meaningful. It's like the playlist isn't just about celebration, it literally becomes a time capsule. And then, of course, there's the summer bangers, the songs that are basically engineered to blast through car speakers, make you dance around on the balcony, or just turn a walk into a runway. You know the ones. The second they start, your whole body just kind of responds and it feels like summer. And if you're someone who curates maybe birthday playlists each year or even like summer mixes, I highly recommend checking out Spotify's Songs of the Summer list. They do one every year, and even though it's based partly on streaming numbers, it's a really fun way to see what the kind of collective summer soundtrack looks like. So right now for me, I've been leaning into kind of breezy pop, R&B, Afrobeats, and a bit of Latino pop as well. I think there's just something about those sounds that just scream summer to me. I literally have a playlist called Sun, 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 and it's especially for those sunny days and just filled with feel-good tunes. For me, it's literally like a ritual to turn on that playlist whenever the sun comes out. And this is something that I find fascinating from a psychological perspective as well, just how certain genres tend to dominate summer playlists. There's research that shows that people prefer faster tempos, of course, major keys, and upbeat rhythms in warmer weather, partly because our mood tends to be lifted in summer, and also because our routines change. We socialize more, we travel more, we spend more time outdoors, and the music shifts to match our energy. It's almost like the season tunes us, and music kind of steps in to anchor those experiences, helping them become memories that we can replay later. So when I think about soundtracking my birthday this year, it's not just about, of course, what's trending or what's in the charts. It never really is, but it's more about capturing a feeling, a little bit of joy, and maybe a little bit of bittersweetness as well, because every birthday is kind of a goodbye to who you were and a hello to who you're becoming. So whether I'm blasting something fun with my friends or just playing something soft and soulful whilst doing a bit of reflection, I know that these songs are all becoming part of memories that I'm going to hold on to. And that to me is the magic of music in summer. But let me know what your songs of the summer are this year. I'd love to hear your soundtrack. I always love discovering new songs. I feel like, especially during the summer, I always go on the hunt for those new kind of feel-good tracks. So yeah, do reach out on Instagram or on Threads at the Sound Mind Talks. Let me know what the soundtrack to your summer is this year. But that is a wrap on this special birthday episode. Thank you so much for spending this little pocket of time with me, whether you're on a walk, lying in bed, or just tuning in while doing life. It really does mean a lot. And I know that it was a shorter episode than usual, but I just felt that it fit the moment. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed just having a chat with you all. But I know that birthdays can be weird. They're joyful, nostalgic, a little bit emotional, and honestly, I love having the space to talk about the fact that music just makes space for all of that. From those classic birthday songs to the soundtracks that we build for ourselves year after year, music really does turn milestones into memories. And if this episode got you thinking about your own birthday soundtrack or even just your go-to summer song, I would love to hear it. So like I said, get in touch on Instagram or Threads at the Soundmind Talks. Reach out. Let me know what your soundtrack is looking like. But wherever you are and whatever season of your life that you're in, I just hope that you're finding songs that just help you feel more grounded, a little bit more alive, and just overall more like yourself. But thanks again for celebrating with me in my own little way. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode, but until then, don't forget to follow us and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. But until next time, keep listening, keep reflecting, and I'll see you on the Sound Mind.